My name is Lena, and when I married Ethan, I thought I was marrying into a normal family. A little distant, maybe quiet, traditional, but normal. Before we continue, don't forget to click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and like this video. Because who knows, with a little luck, those of you who press those buttons will be blessed with long life, abundant fortune, and protected from all things frightening, including the secrets hidden by those closest to you. That was before I moved into their house. Before I learned the secret that lived underneath it. Ethan's parents own an old country house just outside the small town of Willow Creek. When his father passed away, his mother, Margaret, asked us to move in with her. She said she was lonely. I didn't mind. The place was big, and I thought it might help her to have family around. The first time I visited, I noticed the house had 3 floors. The main level, the upper floor, and a basement with a heavy wooden door that was always locked. Margaret noticed me looking at it and said, "That door stays closed, Lena. No one goes down there. Ever." Her voice was calm, but her eyes were sharp, cold enough to make me stop asking questions. That night, when Ethan and I were unpacking, I asked him, "What's in the basement?" He shrugged. "Old storage, I think. Mom's always been weird about it. Dad used to handle all that stuff." Then he smiled, kissed my forehead, and said, "Don't worry about it. It's just Mom being Mom." But I did worry, because every time I passed that door, I felt something behind it. Not noise, not movement, but a presence. The house was different. It was always too quiet, even during the day. Sometimes I'd hear faint tapping noises on the walls, like fingernails brushing wood. Other times, I'd find cold spots in random corners, like someone had been standing there a moment before. Margaret, though, acted as if everything was normal. She cooked dinner at exactly 6 p.m., sat the same chair every night, and never, ever spoke about her husband. One night, while washing dishes, I heard her humming softly. The tune was beautiful but strange, slow, mournful, almost like a lullaby. When I asked her what it was, she said, "It's a song for those who never rest." Then she smiled, but it wasn't a kind smile. It was around 2 a.m. when I first heard it. Ethan was asleep beside me, breathing softly. I had woken up to get a glass of water when I heard a sound, faint but distinct. It was someone whispering my name. "Lena." It came from below. At first, I thought it was just the wind, but then I heard it again, a little louder, clearer. "Lena, come down." The voice was low, trembling, like it belonged to someone who was cold or afraid. I froze. The sound was coming from the basement door. I stood in the hallway, staring at it. The wooden door looked old, heavy, harmless. But that voice, "Please help me." My heart pounded so loud I could barely breathe. Then suddenly, thud, a dull, heavy bang from the other side of the door. Then another, then silence. I ran back to bed, shaking. When I told Ethan the next morning, he laughed. "You were dreaming. That old place makes weird noises all the time." But Margaret's reaction was different. Her face went pale, and she gripped my arm tightly. "If you ever hear that again," she said, "pretend you didn't." After that night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I waited until Margaret went into town and Ethan was at work. Then I went down the hall with a small flashlight and a bobby pin. The basement door lock was old and rusted. It took me less than 2 minutes to pick it. The door creaked as it opened. The sound sharp, dry, almost like a sigh. A staircase led downward into darkness. The air smelled of dust and something metallic, like old blood. I shone my flashlight down. Cobwebs, boxes, broken furniture, and then something else. At the bottom of the stairs was a large mirror, leaning against the wall. It was covered in a white sheet. I stepped closer, heart pounding, and pulled the cloth away. The mirror was old, with a silver frame carved in strange shapes. Faces, maybe, or hands. And as I stared into it, I saw something behind me, a shadow, standing right over my shoulder. I spun around. Nothing. But when I looked back at the mirror, the shadow was still there, still standing right behind me. That night, I told Ethan I thought something was wrong in the basement. He frowned, confused. You went down there? Mom told you not to. I hesitated. I just wanted to know what she's hiding. Before he could answer, Margaret entered the room. Her expression was calm, but her eyes were furious. You opened the door. It wasn't a question. You shouldn't have done that, Lena. I stammered. I didn't mean to. It doesn't matter what you meant, she said coldly. Now it knows your name. That night, I dreamed of the basement, the mirror, and a dark hand pressing against the glass from the other side. The next morning, Margaret didn't speak to me. She spent hours in the basement. When she came back up, her hands were trembling. At dinner, she finally said, Ethan's father wasn't buried in the cemetery. Ethan looked up sharply. Mom, what are you talking about? She looked at me. You deserve to know what's under this house. Her voice cracked as she told the story. When she and her husband, Richard, first bought the house, it came with that old mirror. He had become obsessed with it, saying he saw people inside it, whispering to him, calling his name. Margaret thought he was losing his mind, until one night she heard the whispers too. Richard started spending hours in the basement, talking to them. Then, one morning, she found him dead, lying in front of the mirror. She tried to bury him, but every time she did, the mirror would fog up and his reflection would appear again. So she sealed the basement. That thing in the mirror, she said, her voice shaking, it wears his face now, and it wants another one. Ethan thought his mother had lost her mind. He told me she was grieving, that the story wasn't real. But that night, as the rain fell outside, I heard it again. Lena, this time it wasn't a whisper. It was a voice, low and familiar. Lena, please. It's me, Richard. The sound came from the basement. I knew I should ignore it. But something in that voice, something desperate and human, made me move. I crept down the hallway, barefoot, holding my phone flashlight. The door was open. I was sure I'd locked it earlier. I stepped inside. The air was freezing, and at the bottom of the stairs, the mirror was uncovered again. Fog spread across the glass like breath. Lena, a man's face appeared, pale, hollow-eyed. I recognized him from the old photos in the hallway. Richard, help me, he said. She trapped me here. Margaret, please. She's lying to you. I shook my head. This can't be real. Please, he begged. Just touch the mirror. Free me. His hand pressed against the glass. And before I could stop myself, I reached out. The moment my fingers touched the glass, everything went silent. Then crack. A sound like glass shattering from inside out. The mirror rippled, and something pulled me forward. Not hard, not violent, just firm, cold, irresistible. For a second, I saw darkness. And then I saw her, Margaret, standing inside the mirror. You shouldn't have come here, Lena. Her voice echoed strangely, like it came from underwater. You set it free. Behind her, I saw Richard, or what used to be him. His skin was gray. His eyes were empty black holes.